I know that I've been MIA from YouTube for a while now, but I'm back with life lessons learned from my time away, and I'm so looking forward to sharing these lessons with you guys and to learning from you guys through the comments section. So I saw it fit to start with this particular topic and video for 3 reasons. 1, it relates to why I've been away. 2, it speaks to what is happening in our nation right now. And 3, October just so happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month, as well as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. I'm Katla Romari, and today I hope to leave you with a better understanding of mental health in such a way that you will be able to show more grace to those needing help and choosing to seek help. You will be able to identify when and where you should seek help. And lastly, we all can be comfortable to talk about mental health, ours and those of others, without any judgment, without any fear. So a few months ago, I was not really my best self, and this was mainly as a result of things that had happened in my life. These things were happening consecutively, one on top of each other. At the time, I felt like I've dealt with this, it's over, it's done, I'm past it. But in time, I realized that I'm changing emotionally, personality, my character is changing, and not for the better. I was being short with people that I loved and who loved me. I was having a lot of negative thoughts and negative words. I was anxious about a lot of things. I was withdrawing from things that I previously felt passionate towards and about, and it was just not on, so it took me taking stock of my feelings, taking stock of my emotions, my thoughts, my words, my behavior, to realize that no, man, you're not okay, and you're not your best self. You are changing, but it's not to be better. It's not in a good way for you or for your family and loved ones, not even for your career. So then I thought to myself, okay, I'm having all of these thoughts, I'm having all of these emotions, I'm behaving this way that I don't like. What is the solution? What can I do to deal with these things that I don't like about myself at the time? And it's not things like, it's not inherent things that I didn't like about myself. Like I didn't not like myself, but I didn't like the things that I was doing, the thoughts I was having, my behavior, snapping, being negative, being withdrawn, being anxious. I didn't like all of that stuff. So I thought, what is the way out? What is the solution to all of this? And then I considered getting therapeutic help. But this is not something that growing up, or even now, it's not something that I was like drawn to. Like, it's not, when you're going through this, get therapy. It's not an automatic thing. It's not an automatic solution. It's not an automatic go-to for me and my loved ones, my family, my circle. It's not it. But anyway, because of how I was feeling, what I was going through, and how I hated being in that state and hated how it was affecting my relationships and my day-to-day, I considered it, and I reached out to some loved ones, and one of them got me details to a free counseling facility, and I'm very grateful that they did. However, after I contacted the facility, it kind of took a while before I got a counselor whose time would work well with me, because they have other clients and I have work, and I can only do it at a certain time, so yeah, that took a while, and in that period of delay, I was like, actually, I don't need this help anymore. I'm fine, I'm better, I'm okay. But finally, the whole logistics were sorted out, and had to start therapy. Then when I had to start, it was like, I don't think I need it anymore. But I went ahead with it, and I'm so grateful to God that I did, because it helped. But I think my struggle was like just starting therapy and saying I actually need therapy, and I think therapy might help, and this is how I'm feeling, and all of that stuff. Just that section of, okay, now you know that you have these issues that are going on that you don't like. You want to come to this other side, and this area here of how to get to the other side, I wasn't familiar with it. I wasn't comfortable with it. I wasn't very proud of going through all of that. And I think because as human beings, or with me, and I don't think I'm the only one, but let me just talk about me, I felt like what I'm going through, I'm not the only one going through it. There are other people in my family, in my home, who are going through the same thing. And they're strong, they're okay, so why should I not be okay? There are people who are going through way more than what I am going through, far worse situations than what I'm going through. So it kind of makes you feel like you don't have the right to feel the way that you feel. Like, how are you so weak? How are you so frail? How are you so emotional and affected by such a small thing when other people are going through so much worse and they can handle it? So those were other thoughts that were kind of making me feel like I should not go for therapy. And the other thing is, you've spoken to others about this, and like you told them, like, how do you now go back and talk about it again? It was, I don't know if it makes sense, but those were the type of thoughts that I was having. Like, you're not the only one going through this. There are many other people going through worse. You've spoken about this to other people, to your loved ones, and to now go back and tell them again. So these thoughts cause you to decrease the magnitude of what you're going through and make you feel like you don't need therapy, you don't need anything. Just live for your life, be strong, get on with life. People are going through stuff, you're not special, like, just move on. But luckily they kept calling and arranged, and we started the therapy even with these other thoughts that I was having. And after a couple of months of going through with the therapy, I feel like it's one of the good decisions that I've made in my life, and it has really helped, and I'm at a better place as a result of all those talks that I have in the counseling sessions. So now, that's the background. Basically, I just wanted to give you a background story of why I was not around, and also why I find this topic about mental health so important. So as I mentioned, October is both Mental Health Awareness Month as well as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And on this channel, throughout the month of October, we will be having a series that unpacks what mental health is, what it is not, its causes, effects, and ultimately its solutions. And I find it so interesting that Mental Health Awareness as well as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month fall in the same month, as the former is kind of what led to the latter for me, in that losing a pregnancy is what kind of pushed me to a place of feeling mentally unwell. And it's not just that. As I mentioned, there were many other things, but I feel like that particular loss, that particular event is what that was the worst for me. And I find it very interesting that both fall in the same month, as I believe that many other mothers and fathers who go through pregnancy or infant loss, that leads them to a place of mental ill health. And so it was very interesting, but I don't want it to be about people that have lost pregnancies and infants only. because there's so many other causes of mental ill health. So don't be shaken that you didn't have or didn't experience that. Take these 4 weeks, these wonderful 4 episodes, to learn as much as you can about mental health, what it is not, what it looks like, what the causes are, what the effects are, the symptoms that you can look out for, and of course the solution. And with this information in hand, you can help yourself and those around you to get to a place of perfect mental health. As we go through this, I want to just make a clear disclaimer that I am in no way a medical practitioner and will not in any way be giving medical help, advice, or assistance, but will just be speaking from my own personal experience, my observations, as well as a lot of research that I've done on the matter. For medical help, though, we will be having a wonderful guest who will be assisting us in that regard. I'd like us to go through all of this and think that when we are physically unwell, it is so easy and common for us to go to a doctor, go to the clinic, the hospital, wherever we go, and get our physical state in check. But when we are mentally unwell, it is not a very common thing for us to go and get help for our mental health. And I'd like that to change. I'd like us to go through this journey, understand what mental health is about, remove the stigma behind mental health, and get to a place of acknowledging the importance of mental health and prioritizing it. So go ahead, tell your friends to tell their friends that this October we will be learning more about pregnancy and infant loss awareness, as well as mental health awareness. Looking forward to being with you these 4 weeks. And until the second episode, bye for now.